Hello, and thank you for joining me today for this presentation. My name is Erin Wright, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist here at Beaumont Health. Today, we're going to further address the key tips on how to eat healthy. It is truly important to consume a balanced diet, and knowing how to choose and cook nutritious foods as eating healthy is essential, resulting in a healthier lifestyle and you. With that being said, I wanted to define healthy eating first before we dive into the presentation. Healthy eating means eating a variety of foods that give you the nutrients you need to maintain your health, feel good, and have energy. These nutrients include protein, carbohydrates, fat, water, vitamins, and minerals. Nutrition is important for everyone. When combined with being physically active and maintaining a healthy weight, balanced eating is an excellent way to help your body stay strong and healthy. Keep in mind though, everyone is different, and that is why I always recommend working with a registered dietitian nutritionist to tailor your eating patterns to meet your unique needs. Therefore, following this presentation, you'll be able to explain what a balanced meal looks like, describe what a well-stocked pantry and freezer is, and lastly, be able to list 3 tips on healthy recipe swaps. So you already may know about calories, but it's also important to know about the additional nutrients on the nutrition facts label. Eating less saturated fat, added sugars, and sodium may help reduce your risk for chronic disease. Saturated fat and trans fat are linked to an increased risk of heart disease. Therefore, you want to select foods that are 2 grams of saturated fat or less per serving and consume no more than 13 grams of saturated fat per day, whereas trans fat should always remain 0. Additionally, high levels of sodium intake, also known as salt, can add up to high blood pressure. When it comes to sodium, adults should try to limit their intake to 2,300 milligrams or less per day. According to the American Heart Association, on average, Americans ingest more than 3,400 milligrams daily. This is detrimental to your heart, and cutting back can significantly improve blood pressure and heart health. Even eating too much added sugar makes it difficult to meet nutrient needs within your calorie requirement. Therefore, you want to aim for less added sugar foods. In addition, you want to select foods with high dietary fiber in them, and ones that have 3 grams of dietary fiber or more per serving to help reduce your risk of certain health problems, as fiber provides fullness and also keeps your gut happy and healthy. Now that you understand the basics of a nutrition fact label, the best simple tool to keep in the back of your pocket is the Choose My Plate guideline that is created by the United States Department of Agriculture, also known as the USDA. This indicates that your 9-inch plate, yes, I said 9 inches, should be filled with vegetables, fruits, whole grains, a lean protein, and always try to incorporate a low-fat dairy serving, as we need each component. Just a side note, according to the 2015-2020 dietary guidelines for Americans, 90% of Americans do not meet the daily recommendations for vegetables, and approximately 85% do not meet the daily recommendations for fruit. With that being said, we all have some work to do. Therefore, you always want to aim for 5 cups of fruits of vegetables per day. For those of you that like apps, the USDA also created a Start Simple with My Plate app. The free app provides tips, ideas, and a personalized plan to meet your food group targets. It can assist you finding what works for you and your family within your food preferences, health goals, and budget. Now let's take a minute to watch a quick video. So remember, all forms of fruit count. Any fruit or 100% fruit juice counts as part of the fruit group. Fruits may be fresh, canned, frozen, or dried, and may be whole, cut up, or even pureed. Regarding the canned and frozen fruits, you always want to purchase the no sugar added or 100% in juice, as this provides all natural sugars versus no added sugars and helps fortify us. Eating a diet rich in fruits and vegetables as a part of an overall healthy diet may reduce the risk for heart disease, including heart attack and stroke, and may protect against certain types of cancer. Adding fruit can help increase intake of fiber and potassium, which are important nutrients that many Americans do not get enough of. The goal is to consume 2 cups per day. You can easily achieve this by sneaking in fruits into your meal plan. For example, swap out your jelly and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for cut up fruit such as bananas and strawberries. You can make a sweet treat by freezing a banana dipped in yogurt and granola. Or you can even grill fruits on the grill such as peaches, pineapple, or mangoes to add great flavor to a cookout. When it comes to healthy eating, there are so many factors involved. Therefore, I always love to provide easy, nutritious, and budget-friendly recipes during my presentations. Here's an easy way to sneak those fruits and other food groups into your daily meal plans. For this recipe, all you need is to mix together in a large bowl, no salt added canned corn, no sugar added canned peaches, diced red onion, dried or fresh basil, black pepper, and a drizzle of balsamic vinaigrette on top. You can enjoy this salsa with multi-grain tortilla chips or even whole grain crackers. But the key is you want to make sure when you're looking at the whole grains to select items that have 3 grams or more of dietary fiber. Now moving along to vegetables. Any vegetable or 100% vegetable juice counts as a member of the vegetable group. Vegetables may be raw or cooked, fresh, frozen, canned, or maybe whole, cut up, or mashed. In general, 1 cup of raw or cooked vegetables or 2 cups of raw leafy greens can be considered as 1 cup from the vegetable group. The goal is to aim for 2 to 3 cups per day. Adding vegetables can help increase intake of fiber and potassium, and you can mix vegetables such as sauteed onions, peas, pinto beans, or tomatoes into your favorite dish for an extra flavor. Throw some spinach or kale into your smoothies and you won't even taste it. And lastly, when it comes to canned vegetables, assure you are purchasing no salt added versions and avoid creams and sauces for frozen vegetables, as these are usually higher in saturated fat and sodium. If you are not sure what recipe to use for any fruit or vegetable, you can actually visit fruitsandveggies.org, as they provide an abundance of recipes to enjoy. Which leads me to my next recipe. Here's an easy and healthy recipe, but yet satisfying dish that provides color to your plate with peppers, corn, red onion, chickpeas, kidney and black beans, and whole wheat orzo. You can easily add lean extra protein into the dish by adding cooked ground chicken or a can of shredded chicken and water. Even if you're not a fan of truly endless. Next, we want to power it up with protein. With lean protein, as always, we want to be wise and know the right portion size. When it comes to protein, your portion size should be about the palm of your own hand, as indicated in this picture. The palm size is roughly equivalent to 3 ounces. Lean proteins are the building blocks for bones, muscles, cartilage, skin, and blood, and therefore most adults should consume 5 to 6 ounces per day. Examples of what 1 ounce equals is shown on this slide. Lastly, I would like to point out when it comes to nut butters, for example, for proteins, you want to ensure in the ingredients list, it is solely just stating peanuts. Otherwise, sometimes there might be unwanted added sugars and salt in them, so you want to be mindful the next time you are grocery shopping. So we can switch up our dishes and try these walnut tacos. This is a great alternative to beef and packs a punch of protein and taste and provides a great variety into your meal plan. Not to mention the avocado cilantro sauce adds a great healthy fat to this taco, and you can easily add any other vegetables or fruit of your preference into these tacos. And keep in mind, when you're cooking at home, assure to have fun and be innovative. When it comes to grains, you want to go for the whole grain way. According to choosemyplate.gov, It is recommended that most adults should eat 6 to 8 ounces of whole grains per day. So, what does 1 ounce equal? Well, this could be a slice of whole wheat bread, 1 cup of unsweetened cereal, a half a cup of brown rice, whole wheat pasta, or unsweetened oatmeal. Don't forget to aim for the 3 grams or more of dietary fiber per serving. It is recommended that dietary fiber intake for women should be about 25 grams per day, whereas men should aim for 38 grams a day from food. Currently, the dietary fiber intake among the adults in the United States are not meeting these needs. So let's start now and increase your consumption of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains to meet that daily dietary fiber goal. Bowls are an easy way to meet all food groups. In this recipe, I have combined brown rice, which is a whole grain, mandarin oranges as your fruit, red peppers and corn as your vegetable, and unsalted almonds and edamame for your protein. To make this dish complete, you can easily add a glass of low-fat milk, non-fat plain yogurt, or some cheese to meet that dairy group. I love this recipe as many of these items are stored in your pantry for a quick, easy, and healthy meal, and not to mention leftovers are good as well. Speaking of dairy, dairy products can provide a good source of calcium, protein, vitamins. Therefore, consuming 3 servings per day can help improve bone health, may reduce the risk of osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease, and type 2 diabetes. You may ask what counts as a serving. Well, this includes 1.5 ounces of hard cheese, or think of 4 stacked dice, 1 cup of low-fat milk, such as 1% or fat-free, or non-fat plain yogurt, or 2 cups of low-fat cottage cheese. With that being said, you can easily try this amazing crunchy frozen yogurt banana recipe. All you do is dip ripe bananas into non-fat plain yogurt and then into your favorite granola. You freeze the bananas for an hour, and then you can enjoy a healthy frozen treat. Not to mention, you can even try freezing grapes for a healthy treat as well. So snacking between meals improves overall diet quality. A great snack involves a lean protein and a complex carb such as whole grains, fruits, or vegetables. Therefore, great pairing ideas with fruit include unsalted nuts, nut butter, cheese, seeds, hummus, hard-boiled eggs, or even yogurt. If you choose wisely, snacks can help curb hunger throughout the day. When it comes to snacks, you want to aim for 200 calories or less, no more than 240 milligrams of sodium, less than 1 gram of saturated fat, and we want to be mindful of the added sugars and try to aim for less. I always love to share this recipe. It is so tasty, but yet packed of nutrition. Here's a recipe for a chocolate chip cookie dough hummus. All you need are the following ingredients, such as chickpeas, unsalted cashews, maple syrup, vanilla extract, rolled oats, dark chocolate chips, and a food processor to blend it all together. You can easily enjoy this with sliced apples, and trust me, this is delicious. So beverage choices are just as important as food choices. Drinking sugary beverages can contribute to unnecessary calories. Instead, reach for water first. Water does the body good. It helps your muscles and brain stay hydrated for optimal physical and mental performance. But how much water you need depends on your size and activity level, as more active people require more fluids. Drink enough for your urine to be mostly colorless. If you get bored with plain water, you can try sparkling water, club soda, or even infuse your own water with fresh fruits, mint, basil, or even cucumbers to spice up the taste. As previously mentioned, you want to aim for low-fat dairy. Also, try unsweetened tea or coffee. According to the American Heart Association, a woman should not consume more than 6 teaspoons of added sugar a day, whereas a male should not consume more than 9 teaspoons daily. While 100% juice can be a great source of several nutrients, it's possible to get too much of a good thing. Whole fruits and vegetables are a much better way to get vitamins, minerals, and fluids. Actually, food tends to be more satisfying, plus you get the added value of fiber and phytonutrients from the skin and pulp. Another key part of healthy eating means choosing appropriate amounts of different foods. When it comes to deciding how much to eat, portion size comes in handy. A portion size is the amount of food you choose to eat. An easy guidance is to utilize your own hand. As I previously mentioned, 3 ounces is equivalent to the palm size of your own hand. 1 cup is a cup of your hand. A half a cup, a cupped hand, my apologies. The size of your fist is 1 cup. A cupped hand is roughly half a cup. And lastly, your thumb is about 1 tablespoon. This truly comes in handy when consuming salad dressings and condiments. So another quick tip I love to share is bento boxes. Bento boxes are ease of use, kid-friendly, controlled portions, and endless options. They are boxes that contain several small divided containers and are great for portion control, keeping food separate and encouraging a variety of foods. One compartment can be filled with fruits and vegetables. The other compartment can be filled with proteins such as beans, lean meat, skinless poultry, fish, or low-fat dairy products. And the last compartment can be filled with complex carbohydrates such as your whole wheat pasta, whole wheat tortillas, brown rice, and so on. For example, in this bento box picture, on the far left, I have the spinach salad with veggies and sliced avocado for a healthy fat. In the other compartment, I have cut up strawberries and berries. In the last compartment, I made a black bean and cheese whole wheat quesadilla for some lean protein, dairy, and a whole grain. These are easy ways to meet all your food groups during a meal and fun to eat out of. So when cooking, it's important to choose the most heart-healthy oils. Oils are a form of fat, and our bodies need fat for energy, digestion, vitamin absorption, and more. But too much of the wrong kind of fat can lead to heart disease. So therefore, stock your pantry with the healthiest oils for every cooking style. Now that we are at home, many of us are starting to cook more, which makes me so thrilled. Therefore, it's always good to know you can transform an unhealthy recipe into a healthy one without losing out on taste. For example, in baking, you can substitute the vegetable oil and butter to unsweetened applesauce as it's a 1-to-1 ratio. In addition, try substituting butter for canola or olive oil, but keep in mind you would substitute 3/4 of the butter in the recipe with olive oil. For example, if it calls for 1 cup of butter, you would use 3/4 cups of olive oil. Also, instead of using syrup on your whole wheat pancakes or waffles, try pureeing fruit to receive more dietary fiber and natural sugars versus added sugars found in syrup. We can even substitute mayonnaise and sour cream for pureed avocado or non-fat plain Greek yogurt. You can also switch out mayonnaise in sandwiches or wraps with hummus as well. We can try to reduce the amount of added sugar in your coffee, cereals, or oatmeal by adding spices such as cinnamon, cloves, allspice, and nutmeg, or flavoring such as vanilla or almond extract to boost sweetness. For most main dishes, salads, soups, and other foods, you can reduce the salt by half or even eliminate. Furthermore, try whole wheat flour instead of wheat flour, dietary fiber. And instead of croutons in your salads, add the crunch with unsalted nuts or almonds. The best part is with cooking, as it is a science, and it's fun to experiment with. My other favorite tip to share is instead of purchasing canned spaghetti sauce that sometimes may have sneaky added sugars or sodium in them, try purchasing a can of no salt added tomato sauce. Add your own spices and herbs in them, such as garlic powder, oregano, and basil, for a delicious spaghetti sauce that is easy, cheap, and tasteful. So with all these recommendations, it requires grocery shopping, either in person, online delivery, or curbside pickup. To help reduce the amount of time you spend at the grocery store, create a plan before you go, as deciding on meals and snacks before you shop can save both time and money. First, start out by reviewing recipes and make a grocery list of what ingredients are needed. Then check to see what foods you already have on hand to reduce food waste, and make a list of what you still need to purchase. Organize your list according to the section of the store these items are located in. This will help you prevent from having to run from one end of the store to the other. In addition, try to buy perishable items such as meat, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy, and frozen foods toward the end of your shopping trip to reduce the amount of time they spend at room temperature for food safety. And remember to wash your hands when you return from the grocery trip and to put the perishable foods in the refrigerator or freezer right away. With that being said, planning out a menu for a week or two in advance can be helpful. But if you don't have time to plan meals, a well stocked pantry can relieve some of the pressure when it comes time to make a meal. Assure you stock up on beans. Remember, beans provide a great source of protein and dietary fiber, and select ones that are no salt added versions. These can be easily added into tacos, soups, or even pureed them into a dip. No salt added canned vegetables are a must. These are an easy way to add veggies into dishes such as casseroles, salads, tacos, pasta dishes, or bowls. And don't forget about canned fruit. As long as it's in 100% fruit juice or no sugar added, it is a go. You can easily add these to salads, smoothies, or make a fruit salsa and get creative. Stock up on those whole grains by purchasing brown rice, quinoa, or whole wheat pasta. Having these on hand can truly help you continue making quick, easy meals. Look out for the canned protein in water, such as tuna, salmon, or chicken. Just assure you drain and rinse with water to reduce more salt. You can easily make salmon patties with canned salmon to receive some heart-healthy fats and a lean protein. Select unsalted nuts, seeds, or nut butters, as you can easily sprinkle nuts on a salad for a crunch, mix nut butters into smoothies, or even make a peanut butter sauce with whole wheat pasta and broccoli. Purchase oils such as olive oil, canola oil, or even avocado oil. Olive oil is so versatile, however, you want to make sure you keep canola oil in the cupboard as a backup for higher temperature cooking. Swap out your salt in cooking for garlic powder, onion powder, basil, or oregano for great flavor. A healthy shelfie can lead to a healthy selfie. So remember, frozen is your friend, and you never want to let it go. When it comes to the freezer, you want to stock up on frozen vegetables without creams or sauces, as these can be high in saturated fat and sodium. You want to purchase the frozen fruit with no added sugar, and don't be shy to purchase frozen whole wheat pizza crust. You can easily add no salt added tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, and your favorite veggies on top for a delicious pizza. When it comes to protein, you want to ensure you're selecting the lean proteins such as your skinless chicken, seafood, and 90% or more lean ground beef, chicken, or turkey. And also, don't forget about frozen edamame, as it contains protein, vitamins, and minerals and can be easily thrown into many dishes that you prepare. So now that we've been stuck in our homes more often, it is important to pay attention to our body cues. According to the American Heart Association, you want to make every bite a meditation. If you want to put healthier eating habits on the menu, mindfulness may be a simple and effective place to start. So what they consider, it's not about dieting or restrictions, it's actually taking a moment to take it in. So you can easily try these steps to incorporate mindful eating into your day. So the first thing that they recommend is to ponder and check in with yourself. Are you actually hungry? Or are you just thirsty? Or are you just stressed? And then the next, you want to actually appraise and take it in. So by asking yourself, do you really want to eat this food? Or is this more that you need? And next, we need to slow down while we're eating so our brain can keep up with our stomach. You can easily practice this by putting your fork down between bites and focus on the flavor of your food. Next, you want to savor it by enjoying your food and savoring the satisfaction of each bite. And lastly, they recommend to stop when you feel full. They say that there's no need to join the Clean Plate Club if it means overeating. So trying one or more of these tactics may help you eat more mindfully. So many of us need a night off from cooking, including myself, and meal delivery services or takeout can be a convenient alternative. So making healthful choices from an online menu can be a challenge, especially since nutrition facts are not always posted to online menus. But if it is available, assure you are checking the nutrition facts beforehand. So you always want to try to select entrees that are grilled, baked, roasted, or steamed. You also want to be mindful of the words such as crunchy, crispy, battered, breaded, creamy, or cheesy. And you can even ask to substitute sides for such as your French fries for like steamed vegetables, or even if they have fruit. And then you always want to recommend to request sauces and dressings on the side. So this way you can try to limit your added sugars and sodium. And just remember to practice good hygiene by washing your hands prior to eating. So speaking of washing is one of the primary ways to reduce the risk of food poisoning. From hands to kitchen counters, it's important to wash properly to stop the spread of harmful bacteria and viruses. However, when it comes to food, the rules of washing are not as clear. There are some foods that should always be washed and others that should be kept far away from the sink. So you actually want to wash all produce, no matter whether it's organic or conventionally grown, with cool tap water immediately before eating or using in a recipe. You also want to be mindful that you always want to wash any fruit and vegetable, whether it has inedible peels or edible peels, just due to the fact that when you cut into, for example, an avocado with a knife, you're actually pulling the bacteria into that avocado. Despite what you also may think, washing raw chicken does not actually clean it. And we also don't want to wash any fish or eggs as well, as that might increase the risk of food poisoning. Lastly, the FDA provides 4 steps to follow to eliminate the transfer of bacteria. First, you want to clean your hands and surfaces often. You want to separate raw meats from other foods. You want to cook to the right temperature and chill by refrigerating foods promptly. So taking these 4 steps along with the proper hand washing procedures will significantly reduce the risk of any potential contamination. So on this slide, I provided a great list of websites that offer ideas on healthy and tasty recipes to incorporate into your daily lifestyle. There are great small ways to jumpstart towards your healthy eating. Speaking of recipes, I'm going to share another recipe that I love because it's so tasty but yet packed of nutrition. And this one, you purchase some whole wheat pitas, spread some sugar-free barbecue sauce on them, then top the pitas off with some rotisserie chicken, black beans, corn, onion, and cheese, and bake up to 8 minutes or until the cheese is melted in the oven, and top it off with some fresh cilantro and lime juice. This recipe is another recipe that you can alter to your personal preference. Regular physical activity benefits both the body and mind, and it's especially important for everyone during these challenging times. Even a short break from sitting by doing 3 to 5 minutes of physical activity, such as walking or stretching, will help ease muscle strain, relieve mental tension, and improve blood circulation and muscle activity. Adults should participate in a total of at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity throughout the whole week, such as walking very briskly, bicycling, or even vacuuming, mopping, and mowing the lawn counts. Or at least participate into 75 minutes of vigorous and intensive physical activity throughout the week, such as hiking, jogging, or carrying heavy loads. But keep in mind, any physical activity is better than none. So start with small amounts and gradually increase duration, frequency, and intensity over time. So lastly, in order to eat healthy, you must have access to food first. So therefore, if you know someone or you know yourself that is in need of food programs, that you need access to food, you can go to these resources, and then you can also actually visit our Beaumont Community Resource Network website to access many available resources near you. So before I conclude today's presentation, I want to make sure you have fun and experiment with different recipes and food. It is truly important to enjoy tasteful food. However, you must keep in mind everything you eat and drink truly matters. Buying and incorporating the right mix of foods for your meals and snacks can help you be healthier now and into the future. Now I've provided you with many quick tips on healthy eating, so now it's up to you to make these small changes into creating a healthier you. Therefore, successful shopping is focusing on what is healthy, nutritious, and tasty, so you actually enjoy eating it. This concludes today's presentation. I hope that you'll all take this information and use it to continue to take steps towards a healthier lifestyle. Healthy choices can make a healthier you. That brings us to the end, and I'd like to thank you for the time and attention today, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.